Welcome in, Hornet fans and men's lacrosse fans here. Today's a special day for Lynchburg men's lacrosse, as you can see on the back of the players' warm-up shirts today. One of their special games, we're recognizing the Hope for Haley Foundation. Haley was a high schooler who lost her life to suicide in 2019, and her father and family started a foundation to help bring awareness to mental health and the resources around that through sport. At halftime today, after the first 2 quarters of action, we will have Kevin Jackson, Haley's father, on to talk a little bit more about the foundation, and it's going to be really special and important for y'all to tune in and learn a little bit more about how we can promote mental health awareness. But in the meantime, we're going to get set for the Lynchburg Hornets against Virginia Wesleyan Marlins. Lynchburg playing their second last home game of the regular season here on beautiful Schellenberger Field. It was raining this morning. It was really coming down as I was making my way to the stadium today. But luckily, the skies haven't cleared up. Still cloudy, but no rain at the moment as we see the starting lineups getting ready out there for these two teams. Lynchburg comes into the game at 9-5 with a 5-1 conference record. They suffered a loss to Randolph-Macon on the road last Saturday, just about at the same time. It was a 12 o'clock face-off out in Ashland, Virginia, and the Hornets fell for the first time against Randolph-Macon since 1993. They'll look to avenge that loss here at home against Randolph-Macon. Then on the schedule, Lynchburg takes on Guilford on the road on Wednesday before taking on Hampton-Sydney in a pivotal conference matchup to end the season on Saturday, April 29th. It's senior day, but adding to the intensity there will be Lynchburg playing Hampton-Sydney. If Lynchburg can take down Virginia Wesleyan in this game and take down Guilford, that game will be to decide the top team in the conference. On the other side of the field, Virginia Wesleyan coming in at 6-7, boasting a 3-4 conference record. They took down Averett in their first ODAC match of the season. Also took down Fairham in a 12-8 affair and beat up on Randolph College in Virginia Beach 26-5. Now let's take a look at how these two teams are stacking up. Lynchburg, obviously a top-ranked team in the country. Virginia Wesleyan, sub-500. But Virginia Wesleyan scoring at a higher clip on the year, 13 goals per game, 11.64 goals per game for Lynchburg's offense that has been known to really beat up on some ODAC teams. With Lynchburg, the most important stat we're going to look for Lynchburg today is their clear percentage. See if they can go 100% getting from defense to offense. And also face-off percentage will be big for Lynchburg if they look to build a lead here against Virginia Wesleyan. As we see the two face-off men getting ready to go. It's Mikey Kraus for Lynchburg. And it is Chris Barnum, a freshman. But two Northwestern face-off guys for both of these teams. Kraus from Portland, Oregon, and Barnum from Puyallup, Washington. So these two kids grew up on the West Coast. They traveled all the way to the East Coast here in the Blue Ridge Mountains, taking a couple face-offs today. Virginia Wesleyan wins the first one on a face-off violation from Kraus. Virginia Wesleyan is going to look to take the first lead of the game. There's a turnover there. Merindon comes up with the ground ball, and he'll get across and set up Lynchburg's offense for the first time. Merindon with the long stick. Sloppy start to this one so far as the ground ball still up for grabs. Finally getting possession is Cole Nestor, but a whistle against the Hornets gives it right back to Virginia Wesleyan. Sam Edwards. He has it for Virginia Wesleyan now. Second possession already for Virginia Wesleyan. Lynchburg had a possession on offense. Nothing really came of it as Merindon turned it over. Good defense there from Luke Meadows. He's a first year getting to run on defense. Defense line out there as well. You have Chip Quinn. Merindon's out there. We already saw him with the ball in his stick. Nestor's out there. A shot and save from Tyler Hadley. Lynchburg looking to get the clear. Chris Darminio, he's been a little shaken up. It's good to see him back in the lineup for the Hornets. as he turns it over. As Edwards picks it back up. Second ground ball of the day already for Edwards. Gavin Tawes has it. He gets the clear for Virginia Wesleyan. So off the jump here, the Marlins are in control. They've gotten one shot off. Headley saved it, but Lynchburg unable to really get any semblance of an offense set up on the other side of the field. That one looked like a pass in front. Merendon with the second ground ball. Lynchburg see if they can get their offense set up. It's Darren Palma here. Lynchburg looking to get their starting offensive players out there. Riley Mitchell for the first time out on the field. Grant Voigt as well. Lynchburg now able to establish their offense for the first time in the game, looking to jump to a 1-0 lead. Voigt working downhill. Well defended by Beerb. Back to the X to Hastings and around. Here's Mitchell. Shot, score! Riley Mitchell gets on the board for Lynchburg's first goal of the game. And after a little turbulent start, Lynchburg jumps out to that 1-0 lead. Take a look at this one again. Lynchburg, once they finally get to set up their offense, you can get it to your best player, and it's the midfielder, preseason All-American Riley Mitchell. And if Lynchburg was a little nervous after coming off that road conference loss to Randolph-Macon, maybe pressing a little bit, as they know this is a must-win game against Virginia Wesleyan, they can calm the nerves a little bit as the Marlins win another faceoff on the violation. That's the second one on Kraus. Another one of those, and it'll be a man-up opportunity for the Marlins. Rockhill swung around behind the net. Edwards, he's being hounded by Darminio, but he's able to get the ground ball back up. Chris Darminio against Roanoke had a career high. He's done it a couple times, but caused 4 turnovers against the Maroons. Earned himself Team of the Week honors from USILA. He also had a caused turnover against Shenandoah as Lynchburg went 2-0 in the conference slate 2 weeks ago. Darminio looking to cause more havoc here. Keep Virginia Wesleyan off the board. Playing with the ball on his stick a lot so far is Sam Edwards. He's a junior from Indian Head, Maryland. He's been big getting Virginia Wesleyan set up on offense. Now in front of the net, that one off the post. Close opportunity to tie the game up for Virginia Wesleyan. Nice long possession here for Virginia Wesleyan as they get the ground ball. They'll get a fresh 60. Another shot. This one not too much mustard behind it. And Hadley cleans it up. Hadley's outlet pass to Quinn. Dropped it first. Picked back up. A lot of long stick players working with it. That one set up from Darminio to Finn Schmidt, who gets on the board. So Lynchburg looking a little sloppy on offense. However, they have a 2-goal lead already here, 5 minutes into the game. Face-off won this time. First face-off win from Kraus. And quickly working with it, it is the freshman Spencer Vandenberg. He had a hat trick against Randolph-Macon. He scored a goal as the game time expired with a minute left to get a hat trick. But take another look at this one really quick. Yeah, it was just almost too quick to even catch on camera. Is Vandenberg. Lynchburg now starting to pull away here. Scored twice in the last 20 seconds. Here's Frankel. Frankel, he's looking to take it himself. Shot wide. Frankel's been known to do that. He's got 1 assist, 24 ground balls. He's taken 3 shots. Hasn't found the back of that. That was his 4th of the season. Second line midfield out there. Connor Moore has it. Now McCarthy. Quick pass below to the X. Schmidt already has a goal today. And Hastings. So you got your first line attack, second line midfielders. That shot blocked in front. Ground ball picked up along the sideline. Good play there by Schmidt. McCarthy's got 25 seconds on the shot clock. Lynchburg doesn't need to rush. Already nursing a 3-goal lead. In goal today for Virginia Wesleyan, number 24, Zach Tucker. He's a sophomore from Raleigh, North Carolina. He's tested by McCarthy, but McCarthy sends it wide. 7 seconds to go here on the shot clock. Lynchburg already showed they can score quick. Scored in the first 7 seconds of the shot clock possession last time on Vandenberg's goal. This time, set shot time, 7 seconds. Lynchburg will have 7 seconds to work with here. In front and just tapped. That didn't even get into the stick of Vandenberg, it looked like. Hit it with the side of the head. But he stepped in the crease. Turnover. The Marlins have had a couple of good possessions so far. They were in the lead early in time of possession. Turnover caused by Dylan Schuster. Good play there from the senior to cause a turnover, and he draws a foul, get the ground ball too. So Grant Voigt stepping into the starting lineup in the midfield today. He's been playing out there with Rust and Mitchell lately. Voigt's been dealing with little injuries. Another quick pass in front. The game plan right now is just to get Vandenberg streaking, the man on the X, which has been either Finn Schmidt or Riley Hastings, find him quickly. And Vandenberg not taking any time trying to get those shots off. Is Schuster causing more havoc on defense. Ball still up for grabs, and Palma picks it up with the long stick. Lynchburg getting into a little rhythm here now. Nice play from Mark Sprague. Knocked the stick out of Palma's hand to cause the turnover there. The Marlins are playing with a lot of good intensity here, not intimidated by Lynchburg's offense or defense for that matter. They've gotten a couple of good shots off. Hadley's made a save. Also, another shot went off the post. That shot blocked in front. Liam Murphy working on Palma. Murphy with his back to the net. Turns, fires. That one goes high. Lynchburg looking to break out. Zacharias ran into Cole Nestor around campus the other day, and you only keep track of team clears. You don't always know who's the player to cross midfield is with the clear. It's more of a team stat than an individual stat. But I asked Nestor, one of the faster guys on the team, who do you think is the one to clear the ball most frequently? I guess Darminio. He said Cole Zacharias is probably the guy that's bringing the ball across midfield most often. Voigt fires a shot high. That kind of surprised me because in my memory bank I remember Darminio making a lot of streaks across midfield. As we said, Nestor very fast, but it's this freshman, Zacharias. Or the sophomore, excuse me. Take another look there at the goalie, Zach Tucker, in his sophomore season. Tucker with 109 saves on the season. We'll have a delayed penalty coming up here. Get a chance to see Lynchburg on the man-up opportunity as long as they don't score here right now. They'll bring Hadley out to midfield. Lynchburg's got 60 seconds to work here. 5 overall on the game clock in the first quarter with a 3-goal lead. Connor Moore, a couple of defenders in front of him, defers to Hastings. Now McCarthy, wide open shot between the wickets of Tucker, and Lynchburg scores on the assist. Let's take another look at this one. As Lynchburg was real methodical getting into this, you found McCarthy, he streaks to his left, and he's just got a one-on-one date with Zach Tucker. And Tucker, who's allowing 17.38 goals against on average in his 450 minutes in goal, couldn't stop the McCarthy missile. There's Darminio again. We've talked highly about him so far. He comes up with the ground ball. In that game where he caused 4 turnovers, he had 3 of those caused turnovers in the first quarter. He was really causing havoc as Lynchburg went up to a 5-1 lead in the first quarter. That game got close against the Maroons. The Maroons made the NCAA tournament last season, but Lynchburg was eventually able to outpace the Maroons, thanks in large part from a 6-goal game from the player you just saw had the ball on his stick, Jake Rust. He was the ODAC Player of the Week for his 6-goal performance. It's Mitchell. Step down shot off the stick of Tucker and in. That's going to happen when you just shoot as hard as Riley Mitchell does. His step down is, top notch in the country. Take another look. He winds up once, then he gets past the defender, and he's able to just fire it right on frame. Tucker got his stick on it, but kind of just knocked it back a little bit, and the ball fell out of Tucker's stick. And Mitchell finds his 2nd goal of the day. Mitchell now with 43 points on the season. This time it's Meadows who gets it across. And now Menchaca has it. So a little mixing and matching from Coach Kadelka here on his offense as Menchaca gets the goal here on the assist from McCarthy. Take another look at this one. Nobody steps out at Menchaca, and if he's like, you give me the space, I'll take it. Lynchburg has doubled its lead in the last 2 minutes of play. And the Hornets now are up 6-0, 3:18 to play. Face-off 1. Frankel. He'll take a shot and finally find on his 5th career shot, his 1st career goal. Mitchell gets off the X really well. He picks up the ground ball. And with nobody coming out to stop him, and Frankel gets the goal that he's been looking for so far in his first season with the Hornets. He's been doing a lot of good work in the face-off X in relief. As he gets congratulated here as a timeout taken by Virginia Wesleyan. We'll catch our breath as Lynchburg has jumped out to a 7-goal lead here on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network.
Want to have some outdoor adventures while getting a degree at the same time? At the University of Lynchburg, we have an on-campus zip line and road course. Plus, we offer adventure trips that cost less than a cup of coffee. And did I mention our beautiful scenery? We're a university for students looking for something more than just books. Welcome to your new adventure experience.
This is the dough. It's wicked cute. It's always so pretty.
Frankel just got the goal for Lynchburg on the face-off, but Mikey Kraus back out there for the Hornets as Lynchburg with a 7-0 lead. And with 3 minutes to work with. 7 goals is the season high for the Hornets. They scored 7 goals in one quarter against Shenandoah. Talked about that midweek matchup a little earlier on in the broadcast. We can revisit it if you'd like. Seven goals, season high. A season prior, Lynchburg put up 8 goals on Guilford in the first quarter. It was part of a really impressive performance from Ryan Kenny, now playing his collegiate lacrosse at Babson. A little closer to home for Kenny as he's also in the Masters of Business Administration program at Babson. So he took his time, scored a lot of goals here for the Hornets. And you can only imagine how many he would have scored already tonight as Lynchburg's up to a 7-goal lead on the Marlins. Starting to see a couple new faces out there every new shift for Lynchburg. With the ball on a stick right now, Logan Lamon. If he's not as recognizable with the long hair coming out of the back of his helmet, he's also recognizable with the neon stick head. Seen him make a couple of nifty plays against Randolph on March 31st. He took a shot that bounced really high up in the air. He's the only one to grab it. And he flicked it behind his back, behind the back goal. As Aiden Olmstead, who's getting his first looks today, has already taken 2 big shots. Lynchburg's been able to maintain possession. But without hitting frame, Lynchburg only with 10 seconds to work with. Nice save there from Tucker. Zach Tucker is the brother of Lynchburg women's lacrosse's, one of the goalies for the Hornets women's lacrosse program, MJ Tucker. So a little connection here on Schellenberger Field. MJ Tucker and the women's lacrosse team squaring up to play the number 2 team in the country after this one on LHSN. Washington and Lee comes to town for the final home game for women's lacrosse. That'll be at 4 o'clock here on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network. We were expecting it to be a wet day, but sun shining through the cloud coverage. It's a bright day. It's cloudy, but it's bright out there. It's not very gloomy. As Marinden makes Carter Dukes gloomy as he causes a turnover there. Oh, Marinden turns, fires, and another save by Tucker. Tucker picks up the ground ball, shot, save, another ground ball pickup from Marinden, and he finds the back of the net. Really impressive sequence there from Marinden. And that's the first goal of the season for the senior defender who worked really hard for that one. That one was fun to see. Marinden, right off the jump of this game, Marinden was the one carrying the ball across midfield. Maybe you're assuming that the player with no goals on the season was really pressing for his first of the year, and he gets it there. Kraus almost did his best Riley Frankel impression, but just defers it to Ethan Cotter. Mitchell to Rust. Haven't seen too much of Rust today. Rust up to Mitchell. Mitchell looking for his third. That one bounces. Good layout effort there to maintain possession. Charlie Evans. He's the type of player who's going to play. He's not going to get too much playing time sometimes. But when he is out there, he scores them in bunches. Multiple hat tricks on the season for Charlie Evans, despite limited action. There he is. His shot goes wide. Lynchburg's taken 21 shots today. 8 of them have found the back of the net. The other 2, and 2 of them on frame. So 10 shots off target. As with time expiring, Floyd Wells whips it downfield. And Hadley had it, and he fires it right back. Lynchburg with an 8-goal lead here on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network. We'll take a break and come back for the second quarter of action and give you a little bit more information on Hope for Haley on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network.
Every great college has a great city. For Lynchburg, we are near urban areas with lots of restaurants, shopping, and events. Plus, we are one of the top schools in the area. Come see for yourself.
Henry Merindon. We were talking about his first career goal. How about his first career shots? Merindon took 3 consecutive shots there, 2 ground balls in the process, and he scored his first career goal there. So good on the senior, staying with it, persevering not only through that play, but through his 4 years here at Lynchburg. Finally getting that goal onto his tally. He's a talented defender. Don't need to score goals to, put your legacy and your impact on a game, but now Merindon's got a little goal to show for it too. So we've swapped sides. Jake Russ fires a shot. It was a high-scoring affair from the Hornets the last time they met the Marlins. That one was on the road back in 2022. Lynchburg won. They set a program record for goals and assists and points against the Marlins. On pace to do that again today with 8 goals in the first 15 minutes. Good play there from Edwards. Nearly knocked the ball out of Finn Schmidt's stick, but Schmidt really good with the ball control. Cradled well, kept it away from his body. Voigt was going for the goal, but instead he hit Tyler Knoll. Knoll shook up on the play, but he'll shake that one off. Lynchburg against Virginia Wesleyan on March 26, 2022. So there's going to be a shot clock violation on the Hornets. Lynchburg won 28-4 on the road against Virginia Wesleyan. As we mentioned, that's a program record for goals scored in a game for the Hornets. Palma's had a really good game so far for Lynchburg. He comes up with a ground ball there to Schmidt. Schmidt turns, good dodge, and he lost the ball as he was going in on net. I don't think he really meant to shoot, but as he took the contact, the ball slipped out of his stick and into the back of the goal. Waiting for a signal, but that looks like it's going to be a goal for Schmidt. An accidental one at that, but counts just the same. Take a look at it again. Yeah, he was deking his defender. He had a one-on-one with Tucker in net. The flags on the play happened just before Schmidt scored, so it should erase the penalties. So they're ruling it no goal. It was a hit to the head, an unreleasable penalty here for Tyler Knoll. So the goal will not count, but Lynchburg will get a 2-minute man-up penalty. Unreleasable. See what kind of damage the Hornets can do playing with an extra player here on offense and already with an 8-goal lead. They still have their starters out there. Charlie Evans mixes into the bunch, but there's Riley Mitchell, 2 goals on the day. Riley Hastings from Alpharetta, Georgia, one of those key freshmen that has been in the starting lineup since the get-go here this season. Good fake pass by Schmidt. He's so deceptive with the ball in his stick. Mitchell. Now Evans. Evans, good move, shot, bounced in front. Just a little too strong. Minute and a half to go on the penalty. Tyler Knoll still taking a knee in the box. Lynchburg with 1 shot so far on the man up. This shot this time from Rust, and the hero against Roanoke gets on the board. It's a man-up goal for Lynchburg, but they're going to stay on the man-up opportunity as Knoll's hit to the head on Schmidt is unreleasable. Take another look at this one. You see the celebration from Mitchell. Happy for his junior teammate. Frankel on the faceoff, almost like a long snapper there in football, hikes it back to Darminio, gets another ground ball. A minute to go in the penalty. Knoll's still on a knee. Lynchburg already scored once in the quarter and on the man up. They got a 9-goal advantage. Rust looking for a second. He does. Gets it from Hastings. 2 quick goals from Rust give Lynchburg the double-digit lead with 11:56 to play. So Rust, we said he was a little quiet in the first quarter, but now he's come alive with back-to-back goals on the man up. Rust pouring it on. Rust forms on metal in the rain. It's a hydrated form of iron oxide. And in the wet Schellenberger field, Rust coming alive here with his second goal. 30 seconds on the man up. Rust is not out there for the Hornets. McCarthy. Really nice, quick passing here. Down in front, Spencer Vandenberg is second of the game. He has been doing that all game long. That ball goes quickly. I don't even know if it gets into his stick. If we slow this down really quick here, yeah, just catch it. He just bounces it off of his stick. And that's a nice weapon that Vandenberg has, the silky, quick mitts from the freshman from Illinois. Lynchburg up 11-0 now. Frankel, another face-off win. Cole Nestor. Lynchburg moving quick here. Shot, that one goes off the post. Cole Nestor looking for the goal. Don't see a lot of scoring out of him. We're back to even strength, but Lynchburg scores twice to go up 11-0. They actually score 3 times on the man-up opportunity to go up 11-0 on the Marlins. Connor Moore to McCarthy. Vandenberg has been a really good story for Lynchburg. We mentioned that Hastings, who just took that shot, and Finn Schmidt, first-year players who have been in the starting lineup since that game against Ferrum. But Vandenberg worked his way into the lineup and has been, at some points, the primary goal scorer for this Lynchburg team. McCarthy in front. Good save from Tucker. Ground ball picked up by Connor Ferris. Ferris looking for the clear. Ferris has that knocked out of his stick by Zacharias. Or actually, that was Schmidt. Schmidt, outlet pass to Nestor. Lynchburg still working quickly. Lynchburg playing with the intensity like they're in a tie game. Much less an 11-0 early rout of Virginia Wesleyan. Tyler Hadley still between the pipes on the other end of the field. He's made 2 saves on the day. Olmsted. Shot fired from Hastings. Virginia Wesleyan has been able to successfully clear. It's just once they get on offense, unfruitful possessions. And they've maintained the ball for a long time. They're just not really getting the shots off. 5 shots to Lynchburg's 32 so far. They did score 4 times against the Hornets in that 28-4 Lynchburg victory on the road last season. Auksher takes it all the way around the goal to Rockhill. Rockhill's from Forest, Virginia. A couple of local kids on this Virginia Wesleyan team, and I say local as into the Hill City, not to Virginia Beach. We have Floyd Wells. He's from Forest. Carter Dukes is from Lynchburg. He went to Jefferson Forest. As we just noted, Tyler Hadley had been in goal, but now in between the pipes for Lynchburg is Patrick Moore. Coming the other way, working quickly, nice spin move. Jackson Dinger, shot saved. And Schuster has made a couple of good plays defensively, comes up with a big ground ball. Good stick control with the long stick, picked it up with one hand. As you can see, Patrick Moore, he's in net. Preseason All-American from Lacrosse Magazine last season. Tyler Hadley ended up winning the job from the Alabama native. Shot, Charlie Evans, there he is. Be careful, Evans can warm up quickly, and in a flash, Evans gets the 12th goal of the game. Take another look at this one. Playing with he just knew exactly where the net was once he caught that one. Good awareness from Evans. Catches, turns, and fires on the assist from Owen Hacker. Frankel on the X. So Lynchburg's up 12-0. This would be a face-off violation and a 30-second penalty. So we'll see Virginia Wesleyan on the man-up, but quite different than the man-up opportunity Lynchburg had. As Frankel takes a knee. Frankel was on the USILA Team of the Week in his first game played in college. It's Lynchburg's first game, and the Hornets took down Ferrum by over 20 goals. Frankel won a majority of his face-offs and was on the team of the week. So introducing yourself nicely, not only to Lynchburg, but to the entire Division III landscape, which is a lot of passionate fans, a lot of close people watching closely. Five seconds on the penalty as Rockhill has it. Rockhill up front, shot just goes wide, looking for the top far 90 from Sam Edwards. Went wide. Here's Liam Murphy. Murphy defended by Johnson. Jeremy Johnson came and stepped into a big role for Lynchburg on defense as one of the top defenders in the country. Dom Zingo has been out with a concussion the last few weeks. Johnson stepped in and has done a great job filling in for Zingo. And that's just the impressive part of this Lynchburg team is the depth at multiple positions. And credit some of that to the ability to have a lot of players get good run in games like this, like against Randolph. We saw Lehman have a career day against Randolph. Of course, we had Frankel getting a lot of work at the face-off X against Ferrum. Kirkland to Olmsted. Olmsted, he's a real strong kid as he gets hit off the ball by Harlan Menger. So Menger must be pushing a lot of weight as well because Olmsted, you know, the forearms on that kid looks more like a baseball player. The wiry forearms. Here's Kirkland. Kirkland came from Division II Wingate. Lehman defers. Caden Hinchy sent that one wide. In front, Cotter, his shot trickles in again. That's the second one that's been initially stopped by Tucker, but then just rolls into the back of the net. Lynchburg up 13-0 now. Take a look at this one again. If you slow it down when we watch this one, you can see there, yep, Tucker gets the initial stop, is rolling around between his feet, and he can't stop it. The first one where that happened, that shot from Cotter was low. That one rolled between the legs. But the shot from Mitchell that Tucker did stop with his stick just had so much, G-force behind it. It knocked his stick back. Lynchburg here with a 13-0 goal lead. Flags fly, but another goal here. It was actually saved by Tucker. Take a look at this one again. Evans had it in front, and it actually was saved by Tucker. Good job from the sophomore goalkeeper. But unfortunately for the Marlins, Evans wore one, and Lynchburg's going to the man-up opportunity again. Already scored 3 times on an unreleasable penalty, originally from Tyler Knoll. As we're taking a look at Tucker there. Tucker's made 5 saves. Olmstead's shot goes wide. Oh, and Hacker has it. A fresh 60 here. Shot from Kirkland, bounces in. Bounced it in front of Tucker, but then he found the upper corner of the post. Take a look at this one. This one's Riley Mitchell-esque from distance. From Kirkland, bounces that one in. Tucker couldn't get the stick up quick enough to stop it. So the Lynchburg players currently getting run right now, getting some good opportunity, adding to some career numbers on the season. They play a big role even in games where they don't show up on the field or on the stat sheet. Lynchburg runs a lot of scout offenses as they're preparing for the opposing team, and players like Cotter and Hinchy and Kirkland have to step up and learn an entirely new offense every single week to mimic and give the Lynchburg defense meaningful looks in practice. As Hacker rips a shot there and scores. From Carlisle, Pennsylvania, Hacker's on the board. Lynchburg up 15-0 now as there's 3 minutes remaining in the first half. Hacker had it, and the defender in front, Harlan Menger, was in no man's land, and he just bent over and ducked out of the way of that one. Edwards in the face-off X with, it was a long stick taking the face-off that time. Kyler Mahoney. Or actually, it was Riley Frankel. My apologies. Got ahead of myself. Not often going to see a long stick taking a face-off. Should have known better. The early goings of this one saw the Marlins dominating possession, and Lynchburg was a little bit all over the place on offense. You had people like Henry Marinden, who did eventually end up getting a goal, his first of his career in college. But the offense was running through long stick. There were at one point 3 passes back to back to back from long stick players on offense. As there's a penalty here. Connor Harlacker heading to the sin bin. On the man up this season, 17 goals on 76 opportunities for Virginia Wesleyan. We'll see if they can improve on that 22% man up percentage when we get back from break here on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network.
Lynchburg is all about you, your ideas, and your goals. We've got one professor for every 10 students, so you can get all the support you need. In the classroom, in the lab, or in nature, you'll learn by putting yourself out there, and we're right there with you.
Wiping back into LHSN here in Schellenberger Field, as our director today, Kyle Ayers, pointed out an interesting fact. Lynchburg's taken more shots than they've played minutes, so averaging more than a shot a minute here on LHSN. The Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network. We're 2 minutes away from halftime here. Lynchburg with the 15-goal lead. Virginia Wesleyan's put 4 shots on frame. Saves from Tyler Hadley and another save there from Patrick Moore. And in a minute and a half, we're going to be joined by Kevin Jackson, who is the driving force behind the Hope for Haley Foundation, as his daughter lost her life to suicide in 2019. So really urging you to stick around at the intermission to hear from Mr. Jackson about the legacy he's trying to leave behind and successfully doing so with the Hope for Haley Foundation. Jackson is a alumni of Lynchburg, graduated in '91. This is his first time back to campus in 30 years. So we'll learn a little bit about his connection to the Hill City as well. Currently living up near Swarthmore in Delaware County. And in about a minute, we'll get to hear from him. So don't go anywhere here on LHSN, as Lynchburg has a 15-goal lead with 45 to go. Stepping into this one, McCarthy, side net. 16-0 now. Taking another look at this one. From the side angle. Good shot from McCarthy. Got a lot behind that one. Connor Moore with the assist on that one. Frankel in the face-off X going up against Carter Dukes. Dukes is from Lynchburg, Virginia, as we mentioned. Excuse me, that's Chris Barnum from Puyallup, Washington. Another face-off violation by Frankel will have Virginia Wesleyan playing as a man up for 3/4 of the final 40 seconds. Edwards to Rockhill. Back to Rockhill from Dinger. His time is expiring on the penalty. Possession is going to stay with the Marlins. Restarting here, Liam Murphy. Scratch that. Carter Dukes on the restart. Here's the Lynchburg native. Dukes shot. And here's Patrick Moore. He'll fling it down the length of the field. But as time expires, Lynchburg holds that 16-0 lead. As we said, we're going to be joined now by Kevin Jackson. He's going to tell us a little bit about Hope for Haley Foundation.
Hey, how are you? Good to see you.
Good. How are you, Kevin?
Good, thank you. Thank you very much for having me here.
Yeah, of course. So before we get into it, you had a busy day, getting to campus today, coming from Philadelphia.
Yes, so we had a suicide prevention night last night in Philadelphia with the Philadelphia Phillies. It was a great night. Had over 300 people show up for our group efforts, and so I had to get up early this morning, make my way down here. So it was well worth it, though. Thank you.
But a familiar place, of course. Lynchburg, Virginia, you graduated from here. But why don't you tell me why you're here today? Of course, that's the most important thing. The Hope for Haley Foundation recognized before the game, and the Lynchburg players wearing the logo of your foundation on the back of their shirts. So you just tell me about the foundation that you have here.
Well, first off, I'd like to thank you very much for that introduction. This pregame, very, very touching. And obviously the shirts that the team is choosing to wear has our logo on it, and we're just very honored and grateful for this opportunity. Unfortunately, I'm here for tragic reasons. I lost my middle child, my 16-year-old daughter, Haley, to a suicide at the age of 16 in 2019. And once the pandemic came, it certainly became much more obvious to my wife and I that we had to and needed to do something more. We were having many kids reaching out to us, peers, classmates, people that didn't even know her but knew of our story. And as I said to you, we took these as signs, and over a course of time, we just knew that these signs needed to be turned into a solution. So we've established our nonprofit, Hope for Haley, in memory of Haley, who was a great connector. She loved just bringing people together. She was truly a light. She was a great athlete. She had, as a freshman, won the Penn Relays as a 4x100 relay team. And then as a sophomore, finished third in the state in PA in a 4x400 relay, both indoor and outdoor. So we just had high expectations, high hopes, and I was really excited to follow her college, progress as she moved forward. Unfortunately, we didn't get that opportunity. But what we are doing is creating our tragic loss into a gain, into a purpose. And we know that we're helping youths as they reach out to us. We're providing therapy, paying for those therapy costs, and just trying to keep the awareness momentum going as much as possible. It's a big topic right now, especially coming out of the pandemic. A lot of kids are in need of talking to people, and therapists are at a premium right now. It's very tough to find them. Sometimes the wait list is just too long for kids, and that's where we're trying to bridge that gap and provide that immediate need. So I'm just very grateful and appreciative of University of Lynchburg for allowing me to represent Hope for Haley today, and just truly an honor.
Yeah, so you mentioned something to me when we met before the game, and it's a shame that sometimes in athletics, when professional athletes or people in the media lose their life to suicide, that's really the only time it moves the needle. How can your foundation, in a different way, bring awareness to mental health through sport?
Well, what we've tried to do is think outside of the box. We're one of the things we started with Hope for Haley was our annual golf outing, the Haley Christine Jackson Memorial Golf Outing, and then from there we've opened up such things as a car show. We'll be having our third annual car show this July. The idea behind really what we're trying to do is bring people together to have those conversations and provide that safe space to have those conversations. And it's just amazing, between my wife and I, and certainly some of the other representatives in the organization, the amount of conversations that are had is really what we're trying to do. We'll never profess to be medical doctors. Mm-hmm. We don't want to take that place. We don't want to pretend we are. That's not what we're here for. We just want people to know that it's all right not to be okay. It doesn't take a lot for anyone to just care, and that's really it. It's just checking in on your friends, what to do when you yourself are in that moment, that time, and how, who are your resources, who are your mentors that you're going to reach out to at that moment, to help you. And that's really the most critical thing right now, that we can just try and let our youth and our athletes know that just because you're supposed to be these big tough mm-hmm. individuals doesn't necessarily mean that's the way it is. We're all carrying that invisible backpack that weighs us down, and it truly is that when we don't talk about it, that it just keeps weighing and weighing. So it's just having those conversations, and that's really what our mission's all about, transforming those conversations around mental health.
Yeah, the Headstrong Foundation, earlier in the season, Lynchburg had their Headstrong game, and it seems like now more than ever, athletes are more comfortable talking about things that they deal with when previously they felt they had to just hide. So it's really important to make sure that you're telling the truth and you have those connections and those support areas, as you said. So as we wrap up here, what can our listeners right now do to get involved with Hope for Haley?
First and foremost, I'd love if you could follow us on our social media, hopeforhaley.org, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Obviously, that helps spread the awareness side of it. If anyone is interested in getting involved, we have a contact page, a Google form on our website where we would, this is a small family organization that I'm hoping will turn into something, fantastic, more so than what I think it is. And it truly takes a village to try and conquer some of these things. So the more hands in here, the better off it is for everyone.
All right, well, I really appreciate you coming on and bravely talking about your story. I'm heartbroken for your loss, and thank you for just sharing your story and help other people who have a chance to, get through and deal with what they're going through. So thank you very much. It's very important.
Thank you very much for having me.
We'll be back here for the second half of action on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network.
I wanted to be a physical therapist probably starting about halfway through college. I love the concept that exercise is medicine. We're starting to discover that exercise really can remedy many of the things that we thought that only surgery or only drugs could remedy in the past. When the student comes here, it's because we believe in them, it's because we want them here, it's because we believe they'll be successful. The faculty here are devoted to their development, not only academically but also professionally. We're not so inundated with things that we don't have time to make students one of our highest priorities. We have your back. We're gonna help you through that. If you're willing to work, then we're willing to put the work into it and the effort to help you succeed.
I was really attracted to Lynchburg primarily because my dad went here. He is an alum, so I kind of had that close tie of being interested in this school. And the school had what I wanted to study. I knew I wanted to help people in the area of health and wellness, so the health promotion program was definitely a program that drew me in. And from day one, I've been in love with it, and I wouldn't have chosen any different.
So we return to action here on Schellenberger Field and the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network. We don't want to breeze past the heavy things we just talked about in the second half. Of course, we're here for lacrosse, but you can't just move on from something like that. Hope you all internalized what you heard from Kevin Jackson as he talked about his daughter Haley losing her life to suicide, and the outlets that you have if you're struggling or you know someone who may be struggling. And even if that's the thing, if someone seems to be okay and doing great, you can still check in on them, tell them you love them, and make sure that they're doing all right. That's exactly what the Hope for Haley Foundation is all about. And we have this beautiful outlet in sports with so many people viewing and so passionate and dedicated and always on top of it that we have an opportunity to share the story of Haley. So if you missed it during halftime, really encourage you to scrub back and listen to it, as it was really powerful and moving, and there's a lot of things you can do to get involved. And we don't just want to move on to the lacrosse game, but we're going to now turn our sights on the 16-0 lead that Lynchburg does have on Virginia Wesleyan while we keep Haley in the back of our minds here. Virginia Wesleyan looking for their first goal of the day. Defended well there by Jeremy Johnson. Nestor jumps the pass. And then the ground ball picked up. In transition. Harlacher. He shoots and scores. Another long stick goal for Lynchburg. 17-0 now. We saw Merendon get in on the scoring, his first career score. Taking a look at this one. Harlacher shot out of a bullet. He stops, steps down, chokes up on the stick. It's not easy to score with that long pole. But he gets past the new goalie, for Virginia Wesleyan. Ellen Shaw from Lebanon, Ohio. Shaw now between the posts. Tucker in the first half. He had 9 saves. Very quickly again, who else but Spencer Vandenberg? Vandenberg's probably had the ball in his stick for a collective, 1.5 seconds? But this is his 3rd goal of the game. Very quickly catches it. A quick cradle. Changes the slot. Shoots it from his waist. And there's the 18th goal of the game. Lynchburg was up 15-0. 16-0 at halftime and 2 quick goals here. Much different start to the second half as it was in the first half, as Virginia Wesleyan dominated time of possession for the first 5 minutes before the Hornets jumped out to that 3-goal lead. The number is 28 for the Lynchburg Hornets. That's the program best set last year, late March, against this very Marlins team. 28 goals. See if Lynchburg can make new history here as the sun's coming out. You got blue skies now spreading across our view here from the Schellenberger press box. One of the best places in all the country to catch not just a lacrosse game, a soccer game, a field hockey game, but also, how about the track and field meet that we had last week here on the Jack M. Toms track? The Dennis Craddock Coaches Invitational saw so many top marks in the country. Anaya Seward for Lynchburg earned the top spot in the hurdles. Sam Laneza ran a really exciting men's invitational mile, and he earned one of the top 1.5K marks in the country. Seward also broke and reset the program record in the long jump. Seward competed at the NCAA Indoor Nationals for the triple jump. And that's actually the mark that she set, 11.95 meters on the triple jump, not the long jump. She's an All-American in the 60-meter hurdles indoor, and she's currently in the driver's seat to be representing the Hornets in Rochester, New York in late May. Not only in the 100-meter hurdles, but maybe in a couple other events as well. A lot of Lynchburg teammates hoping to join Seward up at St. John Fisher University, the alma mater of my parents. It was then St. John Fisher College. Now it's St. John Fisher University, going through the same transition Lynchburg College made in 2016, changing to University of Lynchburg. As the University of Lynchburg now has 19 goals. 28 goals is within reach, and Lynchburg really throughout this game in the first half, as Schmidt gets another goal, hasn't really taken its foot off the brake. Sometimes you saw Lynchburg and other, blowout victories taking a shot clock violation after scoring about 6 goals in a quarter. But right now, it doesn't seem to be the case, as Finn Schmidt is a starter on this Lynchburg offense. Frankel, he's got a goal off the axe today to Cotter. Cotter, he's double-teamed. Really nice play there by Floyd Wells to put the ball on the carpet, and he gets the ground ball as well. Vawez looking for the ground ball here. Unable to do it is Jeremy Johnson, who we said has been filling the shoes of Dom Zingo as of late. Patrick Moore still in goal for Lynchburg. Hadley played more than just the first 15 minutes. Not your traditional period-by-period goalie changes that you typically see from the Hornets. Hadley played well into the second quarter before Moore stepped in. You may look to also see a couple of players. Don't expect to see Zach Phillips in goal, though, however. He's listed as a goalie, but against Randolph about half a month ago, Phillips, he got himself some work at the face-off X. He told us after the game that he had been struggling in goal, and he saw that the depth chart behind Frankel and Kraus was a little limited. And in order to get himself playing time, he looked at Coach Kudelka and said, "Coach, I want to work on my face-offs." As Aiden Olmstead rips a shot, going with the flying crane goal celebration. Let's analyze Olmstead's goal celebration here. So, of course, he rips a shot. There's 20 goals for Lynchburg. But then, You just missed seeing him do the classic 80s movie Karate Kid, flying crane, goal celebration. So there's Phillips. Just as we were talking about him, Phillips comes out at the X. He loses this face-off to Sam Edwards. Phillips, he's a junior from Decula, Georgia. A lot of Georgia players out on this Lynchburg team. Alpharetta, Georgia with Riley Hastings. Not Chip Quinn, my apologies. Rob Hakes from Marietta, Georgia, just outside of Atlanta. But Lynchburg well represented from the entire country as Cole Nestor causes a turnover, gets the ground ball, and quickly breaks out. Luke Meadows. Good move to dodge the defender there and get the clear, set up Lynchburg's offense. Crisscross action, scoop shot. That was from Meadows. And Floyd Wells comes up with another ground ball. Wells has played well here in the last 2 or 3 minutes. Wells from Forest, Virginia, as we noted, in his first year with Virginia Wesleyan as a freshman. So, of course, the program record in goals is 28, but maybe worth taking a look at some other team records that could be broken today. The ball's hit the carpet a lot for Lynchburg and Virginia Wesleyan, coming up with a lot of ground balls. Could also take a look. Face-offs have kind of been a little bit more even. We saw Frankel go to the box a couple times for delay of game and game infractions in the X. So that may be a little bit closer than the differential in goals, 20-0, shots, 47-12. Virginia Wesleyan with 10 saves combined between Tucker and Alan Shaw. Here's Hacker. Charlie Evans, as we mentioned, he's a microwave out there. When he gets his opportunity, those goals come in bunches. Hinchy shot. That one's saved. Ball picked up. Murphy. He's got room to run. Look out behind you, though. There's Hacker. We mentioned single game record is Ryan Kenny with 9 against St. Mary's, Maryland on a snowy day in mid-March last year. He also hung 7 on Guilford in April. All 7 of those goals came in the first quarter. It was an amazing performance from Kenny, who we said now moved on to Babson, getting his master's in business. Team records, points in a game. You got 50 at Virginia Wesleyan last season. Goals in a game, 28. It ties the record from 2018, also against Virginia Wesleyan. Third most, 1990 against Virginia Wesleyan, 27. So Virginia Wesleyan always in a high-scoring affair against these Hornets, it seems, even dating back 30 years ago. .37 ground balls today for Lynchburg. Team record for ground balls is 72 against Randolph in 2012. That's an absurd number. Not going to happen tonight. 72 ground balls. As you see a ground ball there. Kyler Mahoney scoops it up. Here's Charlie Evans. Evans is a tall kid. Evans stands at 6'1", just about one of the tallest players on the team. Dylan Schuster, 6'2". Darminio, the tallest player on the team, 6'3". Approaching 50 shots on the game for Lynchburg. 51 against Ferrum. That's shots taken, and that's the high water mark on the year. Lynchburg more than certainly going to break that team season record. Lemon, good save there from Shaw. Shaw getting just about even playing time, split with Tucker. Shaw's goals against average 11.73. He's made 62 saves and a respectable 500 save percentage. He's also 2-1 on the season, is Shaw. Virginia Wesleyan came into the game just under 500. Shaw with a 2-1 record. Tucker taking the rest of the decisions at 4-6. He's the goalie on the docket right now for Virginia Wesleyan. If this score holds, he'll be handed his 7th loss of the season. We've talked all about Lynchburg's offense, but how about the offense for Virginia Wesleyan? No goals yet on the board for the Marlins, but Mark Sprague leads the team with 59 points. Really high number. 37 goals this season, 22 assists. 37 goals is more than any Lynchburg player has this season. And as we mentioned coming into the game, Virginia Wesleyan averages more goals a game than the Hornets do. However, then you have to also consider Lynchburg's schedule they've been playing, taking on number 1 ranked CNU, top 10 ranked Salisbury, who has also been, they took down number 1 CNU. Lynchburg also took on St. Lawrence, a really respectable team from the Northeast. Roanoke, made the NCAA tournament last year, receiving votes. That was a little bit more of a low-scoring game. The majority of the scoring coming from Jake Rust's career night with 6 goals. "28 faceoffs won against Virginia Wesleyan in 2022. 17 faceoffs won so far in this one. So if Lynchburg can score a lot more, that faceoff record is up for grabs as well. It seems to correlate, of course. If you score the most goals you ever have in a game, you're going to have a higher chance of you're going to have more faceoff opportunities. And with the three-headed monster of Kraus, Frankel, and Phillips, Lynchburg's been doing a really good job on the faceoffs. 17-6 on faceoffs. Second shot clock violation we've seen today. Corinne Ford in the donkey down at field level blowing the air horn. Lynchburg impressively is 4 for 2 on the man up. Yes, my math is correct there. 4 of 2. As they scored 3 times on the unreleasable penalty. 2 of those goals coming from Jake Rust. Jake Rust's 6 goals against Roanoke, one of the highlights of the season. Really nice save from Shaw there. It was Cotter looking for the goal. Shaw made the stop. In goal now for Lynchburg, Andrew Miller. As we'll take a timeout here with 1:22 on Schellenberger Field. It's turning into a really pretty day here as the Hornets are up 20-0 on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network.
My name is Alexis Fabula. I major in criminology and I double minor in psychology and criminal forensics. My favorite part about Lynchburg is the friends that I've come to have. It's helped me come out of my shell more, and it's helped me become the person I am and the student I am. I really enjoyed how small the campus was, and I also really enjoy how small the class sizes are, it made me feel like I was going to be more engaged than I would at a bigger campus. If someone was on the fence of coming to the University of Lynchburg, I would definitely love to sit down and have a conversation with them because I'm forever grateful that I made this choice. It's definitely something that a student wouldn't regret. Out of my 4 years here, I've not had one bad experience. I've had a great 4 years, and I'm going to be very sad to go.
Take a look at Ethan Cotter, looking to get into the scoring column today. For a second time, he's got 2 shots, one of them really nicely saved by Shaw on the previous play. But Vandenberg, the freshman, he leads the way in scoring. He has another hat trick on the season. Mitchell, McCarthy, and Frankel, all with 2 goals each. Those 3 players also have 3 assists. So 4 players with 3 points for Lynchburg. And then this reads more like me taking attendance at a men's lacrosse practice than, reading goal scores. But Robert Kirkland, 1 goal. Aiden Olmstead, goal. Rust, he probably has 2. Connor Harlacker, Ethan Cotter, Riley Hastings, Finn Schmidt, Gabe Menchaca, Owen Hacker, Charlie Evans, and you can't forget about Henry Merindin with his first career goal with the long stick. Probably the most memorable goal from the day so far. And with Lynchburg with just over 50 minutes to play, looking to break the program record of 28 goals, which they've done twice in the last 5 years against this Virginia Wesleyan team. Goal number 23 is going to have to wait as Caden Hinchy put one on frame, but Shaw made another nice save. Mahoney, that one's picked out of the air by Shaw. Lynchburg with the long sticks today, doing a lot of fun things. So there's 20 seconds to go here. Virginia Wesleyan probably just going to hold on to it as they trail by 20 on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network. We'll be back for the 4th quarter of action in about 2 minutes.
All right, my name is Joshua Carr. I am a senior. I am a theater major as well as a history minor. I love the arts. I love acting. I love entertaining. I live in 5th Street, the historic black neighborhood. The money came in, transfer, scholarship, all that. I appreciate that greatly. I pay my own tuition. I ain't got no help. I pay everything myself. I mean, I'm smart too. So they gave it like, you smart, here. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that though. You come here to do a job. I came here to do a job. A student's job is to get that degree and make something of ourselves. We got everything for you. We got you a 24-hour library. You got these sorority fraternities. We got the shoot for you. Is you gonna put it on? That's how University of Lynchburg is. Success is in the details. You know what I'm saying? It's like you learn it, know better, do better. What I love is they allow us to speak. They want our voices to be heard. They want us to talk. They want us to bring up the discomfort. They respect our point of views. They respect Black Lives Matter. They respect the LGBT community. They respect those, you know what I'm saying? That's what I love about my school. They respect that and they allow us to showcase and voice our expressions. I love the diversity here. I love the different.
We have pseudo breaking news here on Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network as we get ready for the 4th quarter of action. I previously credited our director, Kyle Ayers, for pointing out that Lynchburg has more shots than minutes played, so they're averaging more than a shot per minute. But Kyle just said it louder than the replay operator today for us here on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network. Laura Porto actually pointed out that fact. So we want to give credit where credit is due. The history major, Laura Porto, doing some data analysis for us as well. Give a shout out to the history major. I was a history major as well at SUNY Geneseo back in my heyday from 2017 to 2021. I didn't play any sports there, but I worked in the sports information department with Brett Ford, Tim Volkman. Volkman now the SID at RIT, one of the top lacrosse programs in the country. Back-to-back reigning national champions. I guess back-to-back reigning is a little bit of repetitive, but there's Harlacher again getting his second goal of the day with the long stick. This one will be fun to see. It's been a defensive scoring party today. Palma with the shot. That one's saved. Harlacher picks it up, brings it up to his highest point, and just flicks it home. Harlacher with 2 goals now. He joins Mitchell, McCarthy, Frankel, and Rust with 2 goals. Mikey Kraus back in the face-off X. Violation from Sam Edwards. So the starters haven't fully gone away for Lynchburg yet. You do have a lot of the reserves out there running the offense almost exclusively now here in the second half. You had Vandenberg get his 3 goals, which is now just assumed at this point from the Springview, Illinois midfielder. Vandenberg's game log's fun to go through. I'll read it off to you here. Vandenberg, 5th on the team in points, 18 goals, 3 assists on the season. Right below him is Dylan Wolf, who we haven't seen in several games. He had that 6-goal game against Salisbury as the Hornets were holding on to a lead against regional rival, one of the top lacrosse programs in the country, falling in overtime for the first time here on Schellenberger Field. Also lost to CNU in overtime. It's been a couple of heartbreaking losses, really hard-fought games for Lynchburg that they just can't hold on to. They hold on to it for 60 minutes, but in neither game that's been enough as it's gone into overtime against those 2 top-tier teams. Lynchburg does have an overtime win, however, as Evans takes a shot wide. Lynchburg took down Washington and Lee on the road, and it was late game heroics from Riley Mitchell. Scored a goal with 8 seconds left in regulation to tie the game on an assist from Jake Rust. Then in overtime, in the first possession of the game, of overtime, he took his time. Lynchburg did, a timeout from Kudelka, let the offense get set up, but Rust once again found Mitchell for the game-winning goal. And at the time, Washington and Lee was ranked above the Hornets, as Lehman gets a ground ball, finds Stratton. Lehman to Stratton once more. Lehman shot, score. Oh, that got me, fooled me. Hand up on that one. That one hit the side netting. No goal. Virginia Wesleyan will have possession. No goals today for Virginia Wesleyan. The Marlins have not been shut out this season. Marlins weren't shut out last year either. As we have a timeout here from Virginia Wesleyan, we'll find the last time Virginia Wesleyan was just shut out when we return here on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network.
My name is Alexis Fabula. I major in criminology and I double minor in psychology and criminal forensics. My favorite part about Lynchburg is the friends that I've come to have. It's helped me come out of my shell more, and it's helped me become the person I am and the student I am. I really enjoyed how small the campus was, and I also really enjoy how small the class sizes are. It made me feel like I was going to be more engaged than I would at a bigger campus. If someone was on the fence of coming to the University of Lynchburg, I would definitely love to sit down and have a conversation with them because I'm forever grateful that I made this choice. It's definitely something that a student wouldn't regret. Out of my 4 years here, I've not had one bad experience. I've had a great 4 years, and I'm going to be very sad to go.
Good look at head coach Steve Kadelka, who does a lot of really great things with his program here. He knows his team has a lot of clout, might not be the right word, but influence. You know, without a football team on campus, Lynchburg men's lacrosse is kind of the football here at Westover. A lot of eyes on this team, always nationally ranked. So seeing Coach making sure his guys are involved in things like the Hope for Haley Foundation, Headstrong, the Step Up and One Love Foundation, really says a lot about the character that he tries to instill in his program. And he's leading the lives of around 50 young men. He's been doing it at a top level for the last 20-plus years. Pockets of blue skies as we see our fourth goalie of the day for Lynchburg. It's Chase Wesley. He makes a save. But as I was saying, I like that. Pockets of blue sky poking out among the big fluffy clouds tonight. But yeah, I mean, Lynchburg baseball was scheduled to take on Shenandoah on the road in Winchester. That's a top matchup not only in the ODAC but in the country. Shenandoah ranked 3rd, Lynchburg ranked 7th. They're going to wait a day to do that doubleheader. It's going to be must-see. Lynchburg softball was supposed to be taking on Averett. They're also going to wait a day. But with the unpredictability of the weather and the forecast that we thought we were going to have, those sports playing on the dirt surfaces decided to wait a day. The turf field of Schellenberg are a lot more forgiving. It rained really heavily early on in the day, but the turf wore it well, soaked it up. And the game has gone off without a hitch. 21 goals scored by the Hornets. 28's the record. They've done it twice. Virginia Wesleyan has not been shut out in quite some time. We're going back to 2017 now through the box scores. Haven't found a goose egg yet. So it's hard to shut out this Virginia Wesleyan team, especially when you look at the lineup. As that shot goes wide from their leading goal scorer, Mark Sprague. He has 37 goals in his season this year, 22 assists. As we said, both of those numbers higher than any Lynchburg scorer. Mitchell came into the game with 41 points. But Sprague and Liam Murphy both have more than 50. Then it's Sam Edwards with 34 points, Jackson Dinger with 28, Daniel Auxer, 25, Jackson Rockhill, 22 points, and Messiah Garris with 11. And there it is. Just on cue, it is Messiah Garris who gets the goal. We'll take a look at this one, but Virginia Wesleyan prevents being shut out here with 8 minutes to go. Nice over-the-top shot by Garris. Gets past Chase Wesley. And now Lynchburg back to just a 20-goal lead over the Fish. Mikey Kraus back out there. Can't win the faceoff. It's picked up by Floyd Wells. Ball still loose. Crazy play here. Charlie Evans picks it up. Another big save from Shaw. So Shaw has come in. He's got a winning record on the season. He's not going to take the loss in this game, as that loss is going to go to Tucker. But 20 saves in the game for the duo of goalies for Virginia Wesleyan today. Shot from the side slot. Liam Murphy, the second leading goal scorer on the team, goes wide. Defended nicely there by Luke Brookman. Short stick defensive midfielder. He's able to get enough pressure on Mark Sprague, the leading goal scorer, sets up Wesley with a chance to make the save, and he does. Now playing with a short stick is Jeremy Johnson, as there's a hit in the back. As we're going to get a man-up opportunity coming. Can't tell for which team yet. It's going to be for the Hornets, as Virginia Wesleyan touches it up. And the Hornets going back to the man-up opportunity for the third time today. As we mentioned, 4 goals on 2 trips to the man-up opportunity this afternoon. Looking to add to a 21-1 lead. The penalty is going to be on Caleb Tassioni. Tassione from Charleston, South Carolina. Also from Charleston, South Carolina, Reagan Bednar. She'll be playing with Lynchburg Women's Lacrosse next here on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network. First draw at 4 o'clock as the Hornets take on Washington and Lee. Olmsted, quick release and a goal. Assist, give it to Caden Hinchy. And he hit the celly again. Shakes his finger no, as Lynchburg with 22 goals. Oh, we almost got to see the flying crane. Yeah, maybe we can take another look at this flying crane celebration. Because it's really one of the most unique. Oh, they're doing it right now on the sideline, but let's see how he does it in game action after the goal. Take another look at this one. We're going to have another, as Lynchburg score quickly on the man-up opportunity, we're going to see them on the man-up opportunity once more here as there's laundry on the field. Olmsted, he just scored the man-up goal. Lamon, shot from long distance at the shoelaces of Shaw. It's the 23rd goal of the game, excuse me. Good step down from Lehman, and he just put it out of the reach of Shaw at his shoelaces. Shaw didn't have a chance to go down and stop it. Lynchburg up 23-1. Kraus back at the face-off X. Probably should take a peek at how he's faring. As Lynchburg has won 21 face-offs now. Looking for goal number 2. And there it is. Messiah Garris, his 12th goal of the season, and he scored both for Virginia Wesleyan here, as he scored both of them here in the fourth quarter. 4.5 minutes to play here. Take another look at this one. He escapes. There's 3 Lynchburg defenders trailing him. Beat all 3 of them, and Garris gets goal number 2 on the season, or on the game. Mikey Kraus squaring up with Jeremiah Madriga from Newport News, Virginia. Speaking of Mikey Kraus and Newport News, when Lynchburg was taking on CNU here at home, came out to the field. It was April 1st. It was about 10 hours before game time. Pouring rain here on Schellenberger Field. There's a women's soccer alumni game going on. And Kraus is out here working on his face-offs all by himself. Got the lid on, got the gloves, wearing the spikes. 10 hours before the game, and he's working on face-offs. Goal number 24 of the day. Caden Hinchy, he gets his second. Lynchburg pouring it on here, as they have been just about since the 5 minutes into the game. Took them a while to score their first goal, but 24 goals later, just 4 minutes to play, and Hinchy has goal number 2. Give a shout out to Hope for Haley once more. Please go visit their website, hopeforhaley.org. You can join their mailing list to learn information on events, corporate sponsorships, volunteer opportunities. And, Hope for Haley not just being picked up here, as Mikey Kraus thought about winding up, but Hope for Haley, Kevin Jackson, who we had on at halftime, was just at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia last night, as it was being recognized at the Phillies game. Showing the dedication, he'll go at length to get the word out for the nonprofit. From Philadelphia last night, he got home at 1 a.m. He hit the road this morning at 6 in the morning to get here for face-off to get a chance to talk about his daughter and the impact that talking about mental health can have in saving lives. It's that important. Lynchburg not going to have a man-up opportunity anymore, but Lehman fires it wide. Cotter's there to earn possession. Well-oiled machine for Lynchburg all game long. A little ironic to say that as they get their 3rd shot clock violation of the day, but it's pretty minuscule in comparison to the 24 goals that they've scored against Virginia Wesleyan. Those 24 goals is going to be a season high for Lynchburg. $18 against Shenandoah, 22 against Ferrum, 18 against Randolph. And Lynchburg moving to 6-1 in the conference. That one conference loss looming a little large, though, right now is a nice play from Brookman to strip Edwards on the shot there. But the Hornets did fall to Randolph-Macon last week on the road, getting out those Demons here with a 24-2 rout with a minute to go over Virginia Wesleyan. 2 more games left on the regular season schedule and the conference schedule for Lynchburg. They take on Guilford on Wednesday. That's going to be down in North Carolina, the ODAC's only North Carolina school. And then it's going to be, to this point, the biggest game of the season for Lynchburg. Yeah, you've played CNU. Yeah, you've played Salisbury. Yeah, you beat Washington and Lee in overtime on the road. But it all boils down to how things shake out against the Tigers on senior night on next Saturday, 7 days from now. The two teams presumably will be playing for the regular season title in the ODAC and the privilege of hosting throughout the ODAC tournament. And of course, home field advantage, very important. You have to limit your travel. You get to have a nice meal, familiar. You're not eating Domino's on the road, sitting on a bus. You got your home fans, and of course, playing on Schellenberger Field is one of the best places to play in all of the country at any level, in any sport. That will do it here on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network. My name's Tim Laduga. I had a blast hanging out with you all today, but don't go anywhere because coming up at 4 o'clock, it's an hour and 15 minutes. If you don't have a clock handy with you, Lynchburg Women's Lacrosse will be taking on the number 2 team in the country, Washington and Lee. One last time, shouting out the Hope for Haley Foundation. If you have time, I really encourage you to go check out their website and also scrub back to halftime here and listen to the interview we did with Haley's father, Kevin Jackson. Really emotional moment and learning a lot there. But that'll do it here. I want to shout out my staff today. You got Kyle Ayers on the directing, Laura Porto on the replay, Zach Bennett working the video board. Sophie, I don't really know what she was doing today, but she was up here. You got my man Wilson Bowles on the camera, HD, Henry Don, Walls on the camera, Maddie J working the shot clock, Claire Galloway working the game clock, Daniel Hamlet inputting the stats, and Sam Rice, a little bit over everything over there on the sports information world, doing PA debut at Schellenberger Field. It's always an emotional day when you get to make your PA debut on Shelley. We'll be back here for the second game of this doubleheader of lacrosse action on Schellenberger Field at 4 o'clock. Sam Graham's going to walk you through that one of our fantastic student athlete and announcers for LHSN. But until then, we're signing off.